Hello, my name is Marlene Schmidt. I am from Central Florida, and thank you all for being here today, helping me with my speech. Today I'm going to talk to you about an individual, one man's dream and imagination, and how I believe he was one of America's greatest exports to the world. Okay, he joined us with the world, Walt Disney, Walter Ellis Disney. Okay, Michael Barrier once said that Thomas Edison and Henry Ford might have transformed this country, but Walt Disney helped shape the economic and demographic changes. Okay, I would like to talk to you today again about the entrepreneurship and the dreams and the success that Disney had, but also let you know about how he overcame failure to become such a success that he is today. Okay, at the young age of 18, Walt Disney decided to open up his first art studio. Him and another animator, it was called Laugh-O-Grams. I believe it was in Chicago. And basically what they did is they drew little funny pictures, little comical notes, and it was sent out unlike the Western Union that we have today. But with the economic times in the 1920s, 4 years later, Walt Disney actually declared bankruptcy. So a lot of people don't even know that about that, but with his success, he pulled together, him and his brother Roy, pulled all their resources and their money, and moved to California and began another studio called the Disney Brothers. When they arrived there, Walt immediately found employment writing sheet cartoons, earning about $1,500 at that time per each sheet. With that, he then gained a contract with Universal Studios and created what he considered his first success with Oswald the Rabbit in 1927. Again, the economic times were not good, and Universal asked Walt Disney to take either a 20% pay cut, and Walt decided to walk away from the contract, but could not take Oswald the Rabbit because Universal owned the rights to Oswald, his greatest success at that time. A year later, in 1928, while on a train ride back from Washington, D.C. with his wife Lily, he sketched an outline of what was considered a little mouse. Okay, what people don't really realize is that's the only time that he actually sketched that mouse. His wife named the mouse. He wanted to name Mickey Mortimer, and his wife said that sounded pompous, so she named it Mickey. And one of his animators at the time that was working with the Disney Brothers Studios, Ub Weeks, created and took that little sketch that he did, created Mickey Mouse to who we know today, and continued to draw Mickey Mouse the remainder of his career. Walt Disney never really drew Mickey Mouse himself. So it all started with the mouse, but not actually. Walt worked behind the scenes. He was very ingenious with TV, movies, merchandise, the World's Fair, and what have you like that. So he was quite the entrepreneur. He was getting that name out. A lot of people don't realize that signature that you see of Walt Disney, that is called a script signature. They said that Walt Disney's signature itself was unreadable, and they came up with that script signature to be the outline of what his product was. They said that even Walt Disney couldn't reproduce that script signature. So Walt Disney's brand throughout the world, this is one of the reasons why I feel that he was one of America's greatest export. He's reached out to all these other countries who doesn't know about Mickey Mouse and all the wonderful works and the merchandise that he's put together. Okay. Did you know that Walt Disney has theme parks throughout the world? And it began in California in 1957, I believe. We have one in Florida, we have one in Paris, and now we have one in China. Those are the theme parks, not to mention the cruise ships, all the merchandise, the films, the TV. I believe he owns a couple of networks under that name and what have you. Florida is, the Walt Disney World Company in Florida is the third largest employer in the state. They average about 6,600 employees with 3,700 different job descriptions. They have a $1.2 million average payroll in Florida. So under two other seeking employers, Walt Disney is the highest in Florida. one of Walt Disney's dreams was to bring culture to America, because he was giving back, and he knew that a lot of people wasn't going to be able to visit these other lands. So before he even passed away, though he didn't see the opening of Walt Disney World, he selected the site, and he already had planned out what it's called now, Epcot. And Epcot stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. Has anybody been, if they've been to Epcot, in the back of Epcot, there's several countries in the back. It was his ideas to bring the world together. And to do that, he brought in natives of those lands to tell about the cultures, lifestyles, and heritages of those lands. So, in view, he's an export into the world from America. So, in conclusion, I would like you to think about the man behind the mouse and the dreams and the imagination that helps shape the world through entrepreneurship and business success and help put America on the map. I believe that Walt Disney is one of America's greatest exports to America. I would like to leave you with this passage from the book, from Daniel Albert's book, The Man Behind the Mouse. Even Ripley's Believe It or Not would have found it difficult to believe that one of the world's most enduring and enduring names started with a pencil, a paper, and a young boy's imagination. Thank you very much.